This is a real sculpture. It looks fake and cartoonish, but once you see it from some different angles it'll start to make more sense. The sculpture belongs to a farm exhibit in New Zealand and is surrounded by many other unique pieces. The 4-story artwork is called Horizons and is made out of welded steel. The part of the sculpture that truly makes it an illusion is the spike of metal that represents an incomplete fold. When you're up close. In 1901, they opened Abraham Lincoln's casket. You see, Lincoln's son decided to rebury his father more securely. But before they did that, there was a fear that Lincoln's body was stolen from the casket. So they pried it open and were hit with a terrible smell. They knew it was him by his hair, beard, and mole, which were all preserved. It was theorized that Lincoln had been embalmed so many times that his body was practically mummified.
Have you ever wondered how this trick is done? Well, if you thought it had something to do with the actual phone, you'd be wrong. Notice how you never see this trick performed with the phone screen off. That's because the secret lies in this transparent piece of plastic. It's carefully placed over the phone, and the scarf is guided through it. The scarf is actually wrapped around the bottom of the phone, and when it's pulled at an upward angle, the result makes you ask the question.
Pepsi did something 30 years ago that ended up killing 5 people. If you Google number fever, you'll see a contest that the company ran in the Philippines. The idea was simple. If you had a Pepsi bottle cap with the winning number for that day, you won a 1 million pesos. Now Pepsi made sure that there were only 2 winners each day, but on May 2, 1992, they announced the wrong number. And instead of there just being 2 winners, 100 of 1,000 of Filipinos had this winning cap. Have you ever noticed that each dollar bill has a letter? Well, if you thought it was connected to all of the other dollar bill conspiracies, you would be wrong. The actual reason for these letters is much less suspenseful. You see, the Federal Reserve has 12 banks across the US, and these letters indicate which of the 12 banks the dollar bill came from. A doctor could theoretically sever all of the blood vessels in your neck and connect them to the neck of a donor body. Then the muscles, tendons, and bones are precisely cut and your head would be fully disconnected. The surgeon would then spend hours reconnecting everything in your neck to the donor body. And once everything is attached, in theory, your head would be completely joined to a new body. Have you ever wondered why brushing your teeth makes everything taste like sh? Well, there's actually a pretty solid explanation for this. You see, your tongue is covered in proteins that act as receptors for taste. But there's one sneaky ingredient in toothpaste called SLS. SLS interferes with the proteins on your tongue. This impairs your ability to taste sweet flavors, replacing them with an unpleasant bitter sensation. Cockroaches are known to crawl up people's ears while they are sleeping, and they do this because they are searching for food. You see, cockroaches are attracted to fermented foods like cheese and beer, and your earwax smells just as good to them. Now, despite urban legends, bugs can't crawl all the way into your brain, but they can get stuck in your ear and sometimes require a trip to the ER. There's this sculpture in South Dakota called Crazy Horse, and it'll be one of the biggest sculptures in the world when it's finished. But that's if it ever gets finished. They have been working on this monument for 75 years. And if you're wondering why it's taking so long, well, it's because of the man who started the project. You see, he refused to accept government funding, relying only on donations and admission fees. A decision that has dramatically slowed down progress. Have you ever wondered why the tags on mattresses? The ones that are apparently illegal to remove? Well, some people think you'd actually be in trouble if you cut them off. But it says right on the tag that it doesn't apply to consumers. You see, back in the day, some manufacturers would stuff their mattresses with anything to save money. This included discarded food, old rags, and horsehair. So the government started to require a tag that listed exactly what the mattress was stuffed with. And they made it illegal for manufacturers to remove. You know the equal sign in math? Well, back in the day, people actually wrote is equal to instead. And mathematician Robert Recorde was getting tired of writing it over and over. So in 1557,